like traffic, distance, your own busy schedules, etc., and have participated in the lecture series. We definitely look forward to a closer association with you in the future. A special gesture of gratitude to all our guests who have come from outside of Bangalore, from various parts of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Telangana. I'd also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the PES University management. The PES institutions, founded by the late Dr. Doraiswamiji and the current Chancellor, Dr. Jawahar Doraiswamiji, have been staunch supporters of our philosophy and activities. They readily consented to host this lecture series in this gorgeous, state-of-the-art auditorium. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the PES University, the entire team of the management, including the support staff, for their support and cooperation that they have extended to us in holding this lecture series. The print media, electronic media, and the social media have all played a pivotal role in carrying our message to the outer world. I express my sincere gratitude for the cooperation we have received from all the media houses, reporters, journalists, for the support they have given us during the conduct of the event. I express my gratitude to the local administration, the police department for the security arrangements, and all those personnel who have directly or indirectly contributed to the smooth flow of the program. Thank you.
So welcome back. Let's continue with our question and answer session. This question related to Islam, love jihad. So questions asked by Nandakumar, Dr. C.H. VSV Prasad, K.S. Rajiv, Mamata Rajesh, Prakash Hegde. Question goes like this. What is the response to worldwide jihadi movement, Gajwa-e-Hind? How to rekindle the martial spirit in Hindus? What each of us can do? What to do for survival when few communities produce more children? What are the steps taken by RSS to curb Muslim appeasement? Many businesses, organization of Muslim community, especially hotels, uses Hindu name, uses Hindu god photo and cheat Hindus. What is the solution? How to avoid Kerala story kind of love jihadi situations? What can be done at grassroots level?
Names. Who asked these questions?
The last name was not there.
Yeah, Islam and love jihad related. Dr. Purnima Choradi asked the question, how to avoid Kerala story kind of love jihadi situations? What can be done at the grassroots level? Sorry.
First thing, Sangha says, don't give too much thought to what others do. Focus on what we should do. Others are doing it. Not today. We have not done what we should have done. That is why we are falling to prey to such designs. So what we should do, for example, love jihad. How can that be a girl or a boy reared in our Hindu samskaras, our own, blood of our blood? He is led astray by someone outside due to some petty attractions. How foolish he is. We have kept him foolish. We have not enlightened him. That is our lack. So the samskar in our households, the maryada of behavior, giving that to our children is our responsibility. We have faltered in it, and the result is success of love jihad. First, this thing you must understand. Secondly, don't put everybody into single bracket. For example, this jihadi movement, Gazwa-e-Hind, perpetrators of love jihad. There is a section of Muslims, you may say a large section, but there is a section of Muslims who deplores all these things. We should know them. We should keep them in contact, because if you want to defeat someone, you must know him. And when we get to know the Muslim society as it is today in Bharat, there is clearly a section, they are small in numbers, but they don't approve this. There is even bigger section who say this is not what Islam has recommended. Then there are those who are neutral, but because there is a system of running the society of Islam which compels every member, knowingly or unknowingly, willingly or unwillingly, to do particular things, they have surrendered themselves to that system. But really they don't have any ill will. That is vast majority. And there is a sizable section of Kattarpanthis. There are many Muslims I meet who say that political Islam is different, this Islam is different. So when we see these activities, we bracket whole of the Muslim society into one bracket. That is not good. We are Hindus, we do not think like that, one thing. Strategy-wise also, this is wrong. You are, by force, you are increasing their number. So befriend with such people, and in Muslim community there should start education of Muslims about Islam. That should happen. So that Samaniti is also required. And we have to fortify ourselves. So Dandaniti is also required. Dama and Bhed is not for us. We do not want to purchase anybody, convert anybody, and we don't want to divide anybody. But good people we have to segregate from the mob of bad people. So, first fortify ourselves, divide anybody. See, there are no weak spots in our fortress. We are strong. The wrongdoers must fear that if I do anything wrong, there will be a retribution. And at the same time, there should be confidence that if I don't do anything wrong, there is no harm from the Hindus. Hindus are very good people. Keep our own house in order. And then segregate good people, bring them out from the bad fortress. We have to do this. So, what they do, let them do it. They cannot do anything to us. That sort of strength we have to build. Bhim was taking his meal, and Bakasur came and started beating him. Bhim said, okay, let him beat me. What will he do? He cannot do anything to me. I am hungry, I will first take my meal. So he finished his meal and then took samachar of Bakasura. That type of strength we must have. Na bhaya deta kahu ko, na bhaya janata aap. ऐसे हिंदू को देखकर दुष्ट धरावे आप. और दुष्ट कौन है और सुष्ट कौन है इसका भेद करना चाहिए, उनको अलग करना चाहिए. सबके लिए एक प्रकार नहीं हो सकता. और ट्रीटमेंट शुड बी डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट पीपल. ये हमको करना चाहिए, तो इन सब का इलाज होगा. आ गया.
Next question is on Hindutva. Professor Basavaraju, Vice Chancellor, M.G. Suraj, S.L. Gangadharappa IAS, R. Vijayan Nair, Nirmal Bhatt asked this question. Hinduism seems inclusive, whereas Hindutva seems exclusive. How is Hindutva different from Hinduism? Why use Hindutva when there is Hinduism? What is the problem to establish All India Hindu Sanatan Board? Any plan to bring all Hindus together under one umbrella to say India is Hindu Rashtra? How can we bring back Sanatan culture in every walks of life? How can Hindu religion be simplified from its complexity and structure for young generation to get connected to it? The second related question, Srinivas Rao, Satish Kumar, Suhas Mohan, industrialist, Dr. Preetham Hurkadli, Dr. Ashish B. Acharya, MS Arun Kumar, MM Koravi, Amrutesh GS, Dr. Venkatramana, Hemalata Yadki, Dr. Murali Mohan, Ashwin D. Bonsle asked this question. How to convince so-called secular Hindus or whoever are afraid to say as Hindus to be proud Hindutva? To be proud of Hindutva. What would be status of Hindus in India and around the world in next 100 years? How can we propagate Hindu Rashtra in Tamil Nadu that is dominated by Dravidian idea? Motherland and Bharat Mata is post-colonial construct. We should rather promote name of King Bharat after whom our country has been named. Please share your thoughts on this. When would our country be declared as Hindustan instead of India? How long it will take to make Akhand Bharat? Is it really tough to integrate all Hindus to create a pure Hindu nation by suppressing anti-national forces? How do we rekindle or reignite the idea of Hindu Rashtra amongst youth?
So first thing is you have to decolonize yourself. Otherwise you will not understand. For example, Hindutva and Hinduism. Now which is the recentmost word in these two? What is our traditional word? Ism. Ism is a foreign thing. Ism translates into our languages as Vada. Have you heard traditionally used word Hindu Vada? No. The traditional word is Hindutva, Hinduness. And you say Hinduness excludes and Hindu Vada includes. This is not logical, sir. This is the bad logic or illogic that has been systematically inculcated in our brains. Ism is never inclusive. Ism means a closed thing. Tva, ness, is inclusive. Because in ness, values are important. Expression differs according to the Desha Kala Paristiti. But we cannot understand this unless we forget this colonized narration, colonized perception of Hindus from the wrong viewpoint or sometimes utterly ignorant viewpoint of the West. So, Hinduness is inclusive. In Hindu means, I told you, can you name a particular form of worship as Hindu? No. Even if you don't daily worship, you are Hindu. Even if you do not believe in Ishvara, you are following one of the darshans of Hinduism. You are following Kanad, who on his deathbed was asked to chant name of Ishvara. He said, no, I don't recognize Ishvara, I recognize atom. Thrice he says, Pilavaha, 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 atom, 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 and dies. He is the respected Rishi in the वैशेषिक दर्शन. So Hindus include everything. Actually, Hindu is the name of a nature which respects and accepts all diversities and recognizes the underlying unity. That you are calling exclusive. And ism, which is at the root of so many conflicts in the world, you are calling exclusive. How can this logic thrive? So, please understand that first. All India, Sanatan Board, etc., there were no boards. Because of this freedom, we were asked to follow certain values. 4. Satya, Karuna, Shuchita and Tapas. No more do's and don'ts. Everything that comes under this umbrella is allowed. And even everything that is outside this umbrella was given a legitimate space in the scheme of things of the society of Hindus. When you utter the Rudradhyaya, Stena Patayo Namaha, and hail to the chief of thieves. Well, there are thieves. They are also part of humanity. They are doing bad things, but they are also have to survive. Everything and everybody is recognized. There is no exclusion within Hinduism. So, any plan to bring all Hindus? Yes, there is a definite plan, and the plan is named Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. That is going on. How can we bring back Sanatan culture in every work? We have to act, we have to demonstrate that culture in our own life. Dharma and Sanskriti, they become influential, they spread through our behavior. Pratyaksha Vyavhar. They are not the things of theory. They are practical things. You have to practice them. Preaching doesn't help. You have to practice them. Hindu religion simplified. There is no religion in Hindus. There are Hindu religions. Religions who say that our is one of the ways. There are all other ways. We recognize them. They are good. They are true. We accept them. Ours is also the way, and we are fast on our ways. We stand fast on our way. But we respect all other ways. We accept they are also the ways which will take us to the same goal. The religions of this nature are Hindu religions, but they have their own name. Shaivism is there, Shakta, Vaishnava, Saura, Ganapatya. And they go on increasing, new things come. Now Sampradayas they come. There is no end to it. There are so many ways. So, simplifying Hinduism is this. Act on truth, be compassionate, keep your heart and mind pure, keep your bodily practices also pure. And whatever you do it for this. For example, Sanatan Dharma. Buddha has defined yesterday, I told you, Sabba papasya akaranam kusalasya upasampada satchitta pariyodapanam. Ete buddhanusasanam. And Buddha also called this way Sanatan Dharma. There is no recommendation of particular worship, particular book, nothing. सीधा ये बताया ऐसा आचरण करो. These 4 values, they are termed 5 pillars of religion. 4 pillars religion के, 4 पैर श्रीमद् भागवतम में, इन 4 पैरों पर धर्म खड़ा है. ये जिसके जीवन में है, वो भगवान को माने न माने, वो हिंदू है. और इसलिए हमारा व्यवहार इन 4 मूल्यों के आधार पर अधिकाधिक उत्कृष्ट करना, यही सनातन धर्म के प्रोपोगेशन का है। सेक्युलर हिंदूज, ये सेक्युलर शब्द हमारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट का नहीं है। सेक्युलर शब्द रिलेट्स टू द स्टेट। There was a conflict between Pope and King, who is dominant, and their domains were decided. That the material world, this life will be under the King, and life after that, the spiritual temporal life, that will be under the Pope. Pope will not interfere with the state, state will not interfere with religion. For the state, all religions, they are immaterial. So, secular Hindus, it doesn't fit. Hindus is an attitude. And with that attitude, if one runs a government, it is always secular in that sense. Every way is equally respected. So, Hindu states have always been secular. Since before the history, up to this, our newly independent Bharat. Why we are secular? We sected. Pakistan didn't become secular. Bangladesh became free from Pakistan, but it reverted to the Sharia state. And in spite of all the bloodshed and all the acrimony created at that time, cool-headedly our constitutions makers made our state secular. Why? Because they were Hindus. So, if honestly secular Hindus are there, you need not bring them back. They are already there. Hindu, by his constitution, always opts for a secular state. Individual nowhere in the world is secular. He has got his own opinion, his own way of worship. Scientists worship science. Communists worship matter. The Gnostics, they worship form of God they like. Individual cannot be secular. But state has to be secular. So every Hindu has his own religion. But as a state, Hindus are secular. And what should be status of Hindus in India, that depends on Hindus. We are citizens by constitution. We have all of us have equal rights. That status is decided. But practically what status we enjoy depends on our character and our strength, Shakti and Shiv, and Jnana. We should be engaged in the efforts to always increase our strength, increase our character, increase our Jnana. Then we will enjoy this status in Bharat. That depends on us. We don't want to propagate Hindu Rashtra. Propagate, you mean prachar. I don't think Hindu Rashtra needs any prachar. There is already Hindu Rashtra in Tamil Nadu also. Dravidian idea, what is Dravidian idea? Okay, there are Dravidian parties, etc., etc. Don't they go to temples? Let aside be worship. Don't they celebrate Pongal? Chakare Pongal, Pashu Pongal, all those 3 kinds. They include everybody. At least for statement's sake, they say that all religions are equal for us. Don't they? Those who say that all religions are equal for us are all Hindus from Arctic to Antarctic. and from west to east. All those who proclaim this, by their attitude they are Hindus. They may know it or they may not know it. So, yes, it is a political atmosphere created by some adherents of a specific political ideology, etc., etc. It doesn't prevent them to be Hindus. Look to them as Hindus. You will understand them better. And then you will also be manage them better. Look to them as Hindus and treat them as Hindus. They are Hindus. They may deny it publicly, but they know in their hearts they are Hindus. If they go to mandirs and hear the bhajans, etc. there, in the southern musical style, one of the great leaders of Dravidian movement asked in Madurai Mandir the bhaktas to stop the chanting of bhajan. He said, if I keep on hearing this, then I will be here as a bhakta. I don't want that, please stop. That is how they are there. By nature they have been made Hindus, don't worry, they will not go anywhere. Motherland and Bharat Mata is not post-colonial construct. It is wrong. Vande Mataram was banned by British. Do you know this? If it was their construct, they would have promoted it. But they banned it. Since Vedas, there is Bharat Prashasti in every scripture. Kalidasa has sung of Bharat. All other are Bhogo bhumis. This is the Karma bhumi. Atrapi Bharati Deshe Jambudvipe Mahamune. All this has been there. In Ramayana you will get geographical and ecological description of whole Bharat. In Mahabharata you will get that. In Prithvi Sukta there are two words. Mata Bhumihi, Putroham Prithivya. We are sons of the Bhumi. All earth. But then why different word was used? Because I want to tell about my identity. Mata Bhumi. Everybody's Mata is Bhumi. Who are you? Putro Aham Prithivya. I am the son of Prithvi. Prithvi means the land which was made arable by Raja Prithu. That is Prithvi. Which was the land? It was Bharatvarsha. Bharatvarsha has been addressed with different names during the long course of our eternal history. And every time, this Bhumi is Vishnu Patni, Prithvi is Vishnu Patni, and we bestow our respect and our devotion to her as Mata. This is not post-colonial concept. It is purely Sanatan concept. Bhumi, all land. Prithvi, Prithvi. Wherein there were many kings. Swasti Samrajyam, many mode of governances. Ramrajyam, Bhojam, Swarajyam, Vairajyam, Parameshtam, Rajyam, Maharajyam, Samanta Paryayi, Sarvabhauma, Sarvayusha. In spite of all this, Prithivyam, Samudra Paryantaya, Ekarati iti. On this land made arable by Prithu, till the shores of sea, we are one nation. That is also Sanatana concept. Don't go to that colonial history. Please come out of it and learn yourself as who you are. Become what you are. Then only you will be understand the world and Bharat. Is it really tough to integrate all Hindus to create pure nation by suppressing all international forces? Please try to do it, then you will understand. What should I tell you about this? We are at it and we know. If you are at it, you will also know. If you are not at it, please come and help us. Then you will know all the difficulties and easiness, everything. So we have to talk to people, befriend them, make them understand all these things. How long and when would our country? That is a matter to be told by an astrologer. See, once Dr. Johnson was asked a question. Dr. Johnson and that fish thing? So he was secretary to some very celebrated English author. So he was asked the question, how many fishes it will take one end to end if we attach the fishes, how many fishes it will take to cross the distance from earth to moon? He replied, one will be sufficient if it is long enough. So, if earnestly 142 crore people of India start doing this, I think tomorrow morning, Hindu Rashtra. But if we don't, then no one can tell how much it will take. But definitely it will happen because we are at it. Till completion, we will be at it.
Next question is on lifestyle, gadget and apps. Balakrishna Adigas asked this question. Is electronic gadget and social media killing family values? Dr. Anita Prasad asked this question. Invention of AI, artificial intelligence and modern tech on our children's happening now. How we can
save ourselves.
Can we save ourselves and children from potential cultural disruption? These are the questions.
So, is payasam killing your gut? If you are a typhoid patient, yes. If you are not, no. It will fortify your gut, increase your digestion. It is not the technology that kills or that makes us survive. It is we, the users, how we use it. You cannot stop technical advances. They are going to come. Man is hungry for knowledge. And when hungry man starts eating, there is no restraint. So research also has no restraint. It will come. Today or tomorrow, that technology is going to come. We have to be prepared for it. With reference to AI, this is said that AI is going to come, you cannot avoid it. Future is going to come, you are not able to avoid it. It will come. It is the question how you are going to prepare it for the future. Prepare yourself for the future. So we have to prepare ourselves for these gadgets and everything. For example, mobile. Now, mobile has many uses. And mobile also causes many harms. It can be said for anything. Major cause of death in human beings is their birth. Logically, it is a correct statement. It is not a question of birth and death. It is how you use the time in between. The same way, how we use it, mobile is very useful. But there are some restraints to be observed. So first, parents should do that. There should be screen time restriction. When to use mobile? When there is someone who has come as a guest from outside, we should not, in front of him, we are paying attention to mobile and not to what he is speaking. That is not bhadra. That is not proper. That is not good manners. By our exemplary behavior, we should allow our children. Children are to be pampered up to age of 5. Then up to age of 12, they have to be trained. From 12 to 16, 17, they have to be guided, not trained, facilitated. After 17, they are your friends. लालयेत् पंचवर्षाणि दशवर्षं तु ताडयेत् प्राप्ति तु षोडशे वर्षे पुत्रं मित्रवदाचरेत्. There are these 4 phases. All through these phases, we should have our example and we should talk, heart to heart talk with our children, not telling them rules, giving them information, giving them knowledge, answering their questions. Have a heart to heart talk. Children must open themselves before us. They should not be afraid of us. They must respect us, but they must love us more. If we train our children in these ways, we can teach them the discipline regarding technology. Once that discipline is there, then the technology can be used for the betterment of humanity, and all its pitfalls can be avoided. So please do it, Madi Nodi.
Related to food and health, Dr. R.B. Tiwari, how can we reduce consumption of ultra-processed food as it is unhealthy? What is the role to educate the children about good nutrition? Satyanarayana S.V., Abhay Chabbi, Dr. D. Shankar Kumar, educationist, Ranganath Sadashiv, ITG asked this question. How to improve health in rural population by adoption of hygienic and healthy practices? How can Bharat imbibe character yoga across all sections of the society? What steps to be taken for actual need of brain stimulations, artificial intervention, which is already risk of mitigations?
This highly technical language is there. You mean drugs? Brain stimulation? Any type of artificial stimulation, especially when it causes addiction, is harmful. It has to be avoided. For example, I wake up from my sleep and then with a cup of coffee I start my day. Okay, but is that cup of coffee a necessity or amenity? If it becomes necessity, then it is harmful. So, we have to see all these things in light and we have to educate our children, even educate adults. All these things are for the pleasure of human beings. They should not become master of human beings. And there are certain things which must be completely avoided. A cup of coffee and cup of tea can be forgiven. But drugs, they cannot be. Because once you start, it is, you go ahead always, you never return. So better not test poisons. This education, this vivek should be given. And when we preach, we have to practice it first, because the young generation is very skeptical now. It asks questions and it screens everybody. So there should be no hypocrisy. In our household, we should maintain some atmosphere of sanskara, maryada, our language, our behavior with each other. So children automatically learn this by seeing. And as I said, up to 12 years of age, their basics becomes crystallized. Once that is on sound footing, we need not worry. He may go astray, but he will definitely come back. He will definitely come back. We have to prepare him in our household till that age. Whatever you can teach him, that is the limit. After that, if you try to teach him, he may go and be rebel. So, all things, good nutrition, ultra-processed food, don't bring it home. Another thing is friends. So the guardians also have to discuss this among themselves. When you start discussing, you will get this experience. Parents excuse these harmful habits. They avoid confrontation. Many of them do not know what happens. So we have to be assertive in these matters. And everything has to be done with love, not with anger or reaction. Actually, I should not be telling you this. I am a pracharak. I don't have household. You know it better. But what so many people who have households tell me that I am putting before you. So there should be love, but there should be no pampering. Some discipline has to be maintained, and discipline is maintained to its best when you exert it with love, not by merely strictness. You appeal to the understanding of the individual. Then he thinks and he observes this on its own accord, on his own accord. Atmanushasana, that has to be brought up. ये सब घर में करना पड़ेगा, तब इन सब बातों की बात होगी. फैमिली वैल्यूज क्या है वगैरह वगैरह, ये सब एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा. और हम उपयोग कर रहे टेक्नोलॉजी का, उस पर मर्यादा लानी पड़ेगी. Then only this can happen.
This question, all questions related to environment. Dr. Lingaraju, Earth Scientist. Dr. T.C. Taranath, Vice Chancellor, Hassan University. Dr. V.G. Reddy, MS, retired DHO. So, Lingaraju sir and T.C. Taranath, they have asked this question. How to integrate holistic philosophy of environment in education at all levels? What role RSS plays in protecting natural resources and environment? Dr. V.G. Reddy, MS, retired DHO. Sumit Nanda, Advocate Talai Mutarasu ji asked this question. What are the measures taken to control air pollution in metropolitan cities like Delhi? How can RSS create national awareness about cleanliness? Sustainable growth के बारे में एक क्वेश्चन है. CA Unnikrishnan Prasanna Darog asked this question. Economic growth comes from consumption, but the impacts nature negatively. How to balance growth with earth? What can we do to protect environment as we focus on economic growth of country? Ashwini Akkunji Chidananda, international athlete, asked this question. Our country is second highest exporter of beef in the world. This is exploitation of animals. What is your opinion on that?
You see, our Swayamsevaks run a countrywide activity in the name of Paryavaran, ecology, wherein we try to change the behavior and attitude of families and individuals by giving them small action points. We summarize it in 3 formulas, or 1 formula with 3 points. Pani bachao, plastic hatao, ped lagao. Because all damage to ecology that happens due to wrong habits and attitudes. And right from policy to individual behavior, correction is necessary. Policy will be changed only by public pressure, but then public has to correct its own behavior. So this activity, it doesn't focus on policy change, it asks families and individuals to change their habit. But at policy level also, some intervention must occur, and that intervention on the side of environmental protection should increase. But there has to be simultaneous coordination with the development. Progress and ecological preservation are not two opposite things. They should go hand in hand. So we have to invent such techniques For example, all the techniques which exploit stored energy should be avoided. Maximum use of flowing energy. For example, we say green, so solar energy. That is, at least for coming millions of years, it is an unexhausted source of energy. We should use that instead of the electricity generated through thermal hydro projects interfering with nature. We should just receive what sun gives us. And we have no means of storing it, using it. We should make our households, our cities. The whole airport of Mangalore is green airport. So there is a solar farm in the outskirts. Kochi airport. So such initiatives have now been taken. Use of alcohol instead of crude oil. All these things, world is experimenting on that. New knowledge is coming. On that basis, we have to change our technology to green technology. So for that, activism is necessary, education is necessary, and governance initiative is necessary. And with a little urging, this can happen now. Atmosphere is such. National awareness has to be created. Our activity creates that. It's Paryavaran Gatividi. It is all about that, creating this awareness. Economic growth doesn't come from consumption. Economic growth comes from production. That is the difference in our outlook and Western outlook. They increase consumption by increasing the demand so that prices will increase. So inflation. All economy runs on that basis. In our method, by mass production, we decentralize production, produce abundantly and use sparingly. So mass production, production by masses, abundant production, just distribution, and limited use. Sanyamit upabhog. If this happens, then production is abundant, there is ample to consume, but consume is itself limited by restraint. So it doesn't harm human beings as well as environment. So that is how negative impact on nature is avoided in our method. This is the method to balance. About cleanliness, yes, in general, for example, we go and use some school for our class, our varga. In that field, we are in demand. The schools say, come and have your camp here, because wherever we go, we make the campus clean. Some small repairs also we perform on our own and leave the campus better than it was when it was handed over to us. This type of behavior everywhere. In our Shakha also, cleanliness is the thing. The Dhwaja Mandal, orderliness and cleanliness is the required thing. So Mukhya Karyavah and our Pravasi Karyakartas are keen on it. Everywhere they go, they see. If this is not happening, they will ask the Swansaks to do it. That is why, first time after so many years, after Gandhiji, that Swachhata Abhiyan was started by our Pradhan Mantri. Because he was inculcated with this value since his childhood. Gandhiji was there. Gandhiji was from Gujarat. So in Gujarat, natural education about this was there. And in Sangha Shaka, he went through the behavior of all these values. So we increase this awareness in our Swayamsevaks, and now that we are going to public with Pancha Parivartan, this will happen in public also. Because in family, Kutumba Prabodhana, one of the things to educate is cleanliness. In Paryavaran, that cleanliness is very important. So we are taking this to society after the centenary year on a large scale. That will happen. Regarding beef, I once asked the minister, how come you have now come to power and beef is still exported? The minister said that beef is not gomouse. We are very strict on that. If gomouse is found for sale in exports, we cancel the licenses, we fine them, we are very strict about it. But other meats, for example, buffalo meat, that is also termed as beef. So in our columns, that beef word is used for all these meats. That is why it appears that we are exporting, but we are not. Legally it is banned, and where we are strict, our vigilance is there. In spite of that, if something is happening, then there may be exceptional few cases like that. But why should meat be exported? That is the question raised by many, not only you. In Bharatvarsha, many saints also asked me. So, vegetarianism must be projected in the government policies also. But then we have to undergo a tremendous change, because in our society, in Hindu society, 72% of people eat meat. Not daily. And in the month of Shravan, they totally avoid meat. On Guruvara, they don't eat meat. Generally on Budhwar and Ravivar, they eat meat. But they eat meat. So first we have to treat this, if it is possible. For example, in Bengal, Assam, Odisha, fishes are not considered as non-veg. They said it is panifal, fruit from the water. Because once upon a time, there was no production of dals, chana, arhar, tur, urad. They were not grown, waterlogged soil was there. So there was no other protein source. So traditionally they developed habit of eating fishes. Now the situation has changed, but habit doesn't go. Many of you must have pierced ears, because in our childhood we used to wear some rings here, kundal. Now rings are no more, but holes are there. Like that habit continues. So we have to bring about this change also. Then these things will happen automatically. Without that, if we insist on this, there are many answers ready with the government and administration people. They can answer your every question. So first we should bring about some change here, and then we can ask pointed question and get the right answers.
I beg your pardon, we are running out of time, but there are so many questions to be asked.
As long as they are ready to sit, I am ready to sit and answer.
So next question is related to women, especially questioning RSS. This question is asked by Ramya K. Dr. Geeta Manjunath, startup founder, Hemalata R. Yadki, textile business. So the first question is related to RSS, asked by Ramya. What efforts RSS is making to bring in more women for helping to shape value-based and harmonious Bharat? Dr. M. Gayatri, ENT surgeon, asked value system-based question. In coming decade, what role does RSS envision for women shaping harmonious, value-based, self-reliant Bharat? So both the questions related to women and for RSS.
Third question.
So other questions, how do you plan to eradicate gender bias against women? Do we really need to announce Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and women empowerment? As truly speaking, men are lacking values on these and they need to be empowered to understand about the topic. The other question is, young urban women are increasingly alienated from our Bharatiya values. They don't want to marry and have children. How to instill Bharatiya values in them?
So, this question is for RSS. I think I have answered this question today.
Already.
Huh? First one?
Yes.
But you should also ask RSS, not Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, Rashtra Sevika Samiti. Because they are doing this job. And by agreement, we keep our organizations separate, parallel, helping each other. So, if they say that you take over this work, we will, gladly. Because we think as Sangha or as Hindu, our Bharatiya Mahila Drishti, we have a particular view, and from eons of experience, why men and women are there, we have to sustain the world. We are individuals, okay, but we thrive because humanity is thriving. So you have to sustain it. And therefore, what is the role? Men and women, they are equal and complementary. Except the differences nature has kept in their bodies. There is no other difference. Intellectually, mentally, they are equal. They are not opposite. They are complementary. And without their cooperation, nothing can happen. Who is superior, who is inferior, that is a wrong debate. Both are incomplete without each other. This should be understood first. And therefore, our attitude to treat women as either a Devi or a Dasi will not do. Yes, we respect them as Matru Shakti, Devi, Jagat Janani. Okay, that is all right. But we have to treat her like this and not worship her. Educate her, enable her, and allow her equal participation in all the affairs. At all the level, leadership level, decision level, execution level, everywhere, unless women participate equally, emancipation of Bharat is not possible. Then another thing we have to keep in mind that Purush is nobody to cause upliftment of women. It is the other way. It is due to women that men get uplifted. Shivaji was there because Jijamata was there. Pandavas were there because Kunti was there. Ram was there because Kausalya was there. Ram was there because Dasharatha. Nobody says this. Nobody says that Shivaji was there because Shahji was there. No, nobody says this. Because that is the fact of life. Mother is the first teacher. Mother is the maker of human being. She gives shelter, she gives food, she gives sanskar, mental makeup, intellectual makeup. All this is, and women have special ability to do this, which men lack. So all the things that men can do, women can do. And all the things women can do cannot be done by males, Purush. And therefore, Vivekananda said, he was asked by a long interview he gave about Matu Shakti of Bharat, womanhood of India. And last question, he asked, so what is your message for Indian women, Swamiji? So Vivekananda answers, no, I will not dare to give message to Indian women. I will pray to them and I will advise men not to interfere in their affairs. You cannot uplift women. Woman is the cause for your upliftment. So please allow her to do her core. Educate her. Give her opportunity. Don't be a hindrance. Cheer her. She will do everything Mangal. So I don't have a message. And you also don't make that daring thing. Don't dare to message a woman. That is how he answers. That is our view. So with this view, when women slowly became active in various organizations run by our Swanchuks, etc., naturally we urged them to come together and on the basis of their experience in the public field, decide how to educate Bharatiya women, how to solve their problems, how to educate the families, to bring about the amenable atmosphere. All these things, they have to guide and we have to follow. So that work has also started. Mahila Samanvay has started. Slowly they are realizing. For the first time, last year, they had a program completely executed by them. Of course, to help, we deputed our persons there, but they had no other work than standing there with folded hands and wait for the instructions, which they never got till the end of the program. Everything was managed by, at 500 places, there were the sammelans, conferences of leading women of that district. And about 6 lakhs women participated in that, all the leading women. So now they are confident. So the other day, their leaders, they assembled in Bengaluru, in Channanadi, and they had their conference. About 300 such workers were there. And they were asking us, what are we going to do during your centenary? What is our job? So we asked them, please help our Swayam Sevaks and do whatever else you think on your own. We have you sanction. So they will take the lead and they will do it. We are there to help, if at all help is needed. Otherwise we won't interfere. Because our interference will cause some disturbance. We don't want that. I think everything is answered in this question.
Yes. This question was also asked by Mr. Chandru Iyer, Diplomat, British Deputy High Commissioner.
Urban women are not. Yeah. That is the burning problem today. You see, this is a result of lack of education. One thing, why we are here in this world. Extreme individualism says, it is your own free will, do as you want. But there is no really free will. What we call free will is restricted by our brain. Ask the neurological experts, they will tell you. What we say free thinking, it is limited by our construct of our body. Unless we go out of this cage of body, mind and intellect, we cannot really have free will. So there is a limit to free will also. There is limit to everything. there is limit to limit also. That one must understand. So when we are here, our life depends on everything, so many things. So many things have to go on, then I can live. So I have to be sheltered by my parents in my childhood. If I lose that shelter, then it affects my life in a particular way. So single parent children, orphans, all these problems are there, and they have deep scars on their minds of these situations. So to be everything all right with me, I have to be dependent on so many. And therefore, I have also a duty to sustain them. One of that is to continue. Every species on the earth wants to continue. It doesn't want to die, and bodily everyone has to die. Therefore, the another bypass to this death is increasing your numbers. For that, they have to marry. Procreation is one of the natural duties. Okay, you got vairagya somehow, and you want to become sannyasi or sannyasini. It is allowed. But sannyasinis don't run the society. Society is run by grihasthas. So grihasthashram is a must. Brahmacharya, grihastha, then vanaprastha and sannyas. This is the sense of duty. And not only duty, it is the sense of sustaining the life. Sustaining the life of humanity, life of the planet, as well as my own life. Such deep thoughts are not there in young men. Parents have to impart this, but parents do not know this thinking, I think. Actually, it is our inherent thinking. We have got it in our inheritance. Now, how to talk with them? You have to provide some love first. You have to have that atmosphere of dialogue, etc. I have told it. Through this, we have to give this sense. Marrying or not marrying, that is not the matter. One may feel that I will not marry. Okay, I am pracharaka. I did not marry. So why should I tell my sister, you marry, if she doesn't want to marry? That I will not do. But then, if I am going to employ my single life to some useful purpose, which satisfies me, always as it satisfied everybody else, who have taken so many pains for me, then it is all right. But it is my sweet will, my whim that I will not marry. That is not good, because we don't live for ourselves. We live for everybody we are connected to. And that is the human life. Otherwise, all animals live for themselves. What is the difference between man and animal? All this has to be inculcated slowly in the childhood through various stories and exemplary behavior of other relatives, including parents. Little thought-provoking should start after teenage, during teenage. And then they think. They have been led astray by so many things, so many forces. But to bring them back to the path, to keep them on the path, is possible only when we stimulate their thinking, clear thinking. What is the purpose of life? It is not ego. It is responsibility. It's responsible towards everybody. Otherwise, we cannot be happy. In spite of all the pleasures, we will feel empty. That wisdom we have to inculcate. Then only this will happen. We have to have that bond since childhood. Somewhere in the families, it is not there. That is why this is happening.
Next question I am taking from politics. I am just summarizing the question. This question is related to corruption. Wing Commander A. Raghunath, Balakrishna Adiga, Dr. Subhash Chandra Rathod, Professor M.S. Subhash, former VC, Srinivas Raghavan, Captain K.P. Nagendra, Agastya Bellet, V. Murali, Vivek Alva asked this question. How to curb corruption? The second question is from Dr. Prahalad. What is good politics in Bharatiya way? Third question is from VP Kaniram, retired IAS, Lahari Velu, Raja Simha, Dr. Subhash Chandra Rathod. Can we have political party neutral system having people representative who are not attached to any political party? Any other form of government is possible.
So, party free, that is one form, but very difficult to sustain. Actually, party denotes the perspective. For each topic, there are different perspectives. There are different opinions. And opinions are represented by parties. So parties are going to be, because there are so many men, there are so many thoughts, so many opinions. But we had a tradition so that there will be not debate, not vivad, shastrarth. All the opinions, all the facets of the questions will be discussed, and goal being the same, and everybody being honest to that goal. By logic, things were resolved, and yes, okay, this is also one aspect, this is also another aspect. These two can be fused in this way. Like that, a sahamati, consensus, used to evolve. So, there was not bahumati, there was sahamati. Samanam mantra samiti samani, samanam manam, saha chittam esham. That saha thing was very important. So, good politics, seeing the present scenario, good and politics become contradictory words. But that was not always the thing. There can be good politics, wherein every politician says, I am here to enlighten about a particular viewpoint about the same thing. And honestly, we all want to bring about some good towards humanity, towards my nation, towards the people I represent. And I believe in honesty of others. So though their opinion is different, my opinion is different, we can evolve a consensus by discussion. Because logically, if one thing is found correct, being honest, everybody will agree with it. And so there will be a consensus. And that consensus will be finally opinion of everybody after discussion, once decision is made. That can happen, but for that human quality has to be very superior. So we have to try first for that. We throw our representatives amongst ourselves, from amongst ourselves. So in a way, our qualities are reflected in our leaders. People get the government they deserve. So to deserve more, we have to increase our own quality. Good politics is a possibility only when there is good society. That we have to do. And when we do this, automatically corruption is uprooted, eliminated. Because corruption resides in minds, not in systems, not in opportunities. They are always there. Systems are always there. But individual corrupts them due to his attitude. The honesty is the quality needed in politics. And that honesty comes from two sources. One of the two or all the two? Both. One of the two is from my own innate sanskaras. I am an honest person. Whatever environment I was, I will never compromise with my honesty and truth. And secondly, general atmosphere of the country, of the society. Our society is honest society. It will never compromise with truth. If this happens, honesty is assured, corruption is eliminated from the politics.
So next question, again I am summarizing, related to dharma and culture. This question is asked by T.S. Nagabharana, Theatre and Films, Mr. Shivananda Hegde Keremane. How to protect and promote art and culture? How to educate people about culture, translating scriptures into regional languages? Temple administration by government only now. How to change it?
Which section?
So next, dharma and culture.
So you are now taking some questions. For the restraint of time, he is censoring. Okay?
How to protect and promote art and culture?
कहाँ है भाई? Oh. Art and culture. So art and culture should given some incentive by the governance as well as by the society. So if society gives shelter to art and culture, then the governance has to follow. In olden days, there was Rajas who gave Rajashraya to Kalakars. Now, government also has got schemes. But then there are many hurdles there. We all know of that. So, primarily, we have to give some uttejan, some protsahan to arts. So classical arts or classical music, our style of painting, all these things, we have to go and give them big hand. If they figure prominently in public life, then government also should requires to care for them. And we can put pressure on the government. And the Kala Jagat should get organized. There is a sort of competition in that which is very natural. But that should not be converted into rivalry. Everybody should help everybody. Then that can happen. There is no other way. Only government giving some arms to artists doesn't suffice. Artists require audience. Audience must be enthusiastic. That is the way.
Next question related to education. Traditional value related questions. Professor Nagaraju, Dr. M.V. Alagavadi, Aarti Sharma, Jagdish Shekhar Nayak, entrepreneur. There is one question without name. Satish Shaine Navi, Sharmala, Keshav Prasad Mulya, Dr. Venkatraman, Hemalata Edaki, L. Srinivasaya, Anirudh Khane, Mrutyunjay Shastri. Asking question, how to include traditional values in education like Panchakosh, Dharmik Shiksha. And there is one question related to foreign influence and foreign university threat. Dr. R. Nagaraja, Professor K.N. Subramanya, Chudi Shivaram, journalist, Srish Kumar, Ravindra G. Katote asked this question. How to tackle foreign university entry and protect our education? Then in this context only, one more question. How to free education from Macaulay and leftist ideology? How to include skill, local language, quality, tech and affordable education? Affordability in education.
Quality, tech and
How to include skill,
affordability. Affordability.
affordability.
So, the Panchakosha Shiksha Pranali is now coming in the new education policy. But it is a question of implementation. Technically, it will come into the forms, etc., all these recommendations, procedures, it will come. But Panchakosha Shiksha Pranali also involves spirit of the teacher. So the teacher's education regarding this new thing is a vital thing to be successful. For it to be successful. So, how to go about that? The institutes on their own can take up this training, or government also has to go about it systematically. But Panchakosha education as principle has been accepted and incorporated in the new education policy. Foreign universities, if they have come. We should avoid as far as possible. But okay, now the present state of education here, we may have to take support of some such university. Then we should be firm on our own basis first. There is a tendency in our society to get attracted to everything foreign. And we take it to be synonymous with the quality, which is wrong. Quality-wise, the best in foreign countries is Finland. And Finland's system of education is much akin to our Gurukula system. So we could recognize this and we could reshape our policies. We could have our universities based on that system. Some such experimentation is a must. Research has to be undertaken on all this. Yesterday I spoke about the Indian knowledge system. So Parashar Maharshi's that experiment. Some such things are there. We should have them in our universities also. So foreign universities when come, they will see that they have much to learn from us. So foreign universities come here not to influence us, they come here to get influenced by us. That should happen. Other things which are not desirable will be dispelled out as and when we get financially strong. Our universities become sustainable on their own. Government dependence must be lessened. Social cooperation must increase. The universities will be free to experiment education in this way. Otherwise, they will have to always walk in the frame provided by the government. There will be no experimentation. So this autonomy of the universities depends on the social support they get. That should happen. और क्या रह गया?
So this question related
Leftist
to
ideology. Actually, there is no ideology left in the left now. There is only power politics. So the persons with ideology, persons with our ideology, they have to deliberately make effort to occupy the posts at key levels and not use them only for exerting their power, but use them to bring about the change. Otherwise, a particular leftist man was there, he was dislodged, and I was placed in his place, in that chair. So I am satisfied. Now everything I have got fulfilled. I have to do nothing. I have to sit in this chair as long as I will be allowed to. Now, if you go there, you have to make use of it. For this, we have to copy the leftists. They were also, due to some anukulata in politics, etc., they were propelled there. Or they make the situation to their advantage so that they got those posts. But they didn't sit idle in their chair. They took care that for coming generation, this continues. When we go there, we have to do this. We are not doing it for our own self or for the interest of our party or RSS. The education in Bharat should go on a prescribed line, should not go astray, should bring about real education, should bring about good human beings. That is our intention. So we have to keep this in mind and use those places. But first, everybody has to make concerted efforts so that in such key positions, men with good intention, not necessarily they should be Swayamsevaks, they should be honest, they should have national view, and they should have Kartrutva, efficiency. Such men should be placed there. And they should not sit idle, they should make provisions for generations to come. So then we can turn the wheel in right direction and mend the things.
Next question on global affairs. Mr. T.S. Mohan, scientist, Dr. H.L. Subbarao, G.K. Patra, Jagapati Jha, Professor of IIMB, Ashwin Bhosle, Dr. Prabhu Ramarao, researcher, asked these questions. Also, the question is, how to educate Hindus outside to save them from left wokeism, jihadis, etc.? How we can create better understanding world over about Bharat and Hindutva, especially in neighboring countries? Claude RP asked a question. What is your opinion on Indo-China policy on border issues with Tibet?
So, yeah. This is okay. You summarized it into the sentence. Read that sentence again, please. Where is it? No. This. Already that was.
Not there here. It was came in a list.
No, that is his. This one, no? China.
Yeah, China.
You read about this.
Yes.
What is that sentence? It is there. Oh. I think part of that question has been answered in previous question about our children. You see, we don't have information about what actually wokeism is, what new left means, what is deep state, what is cultural Marxism. There is literature coming out about this. So our intelligentsia and academia should study about it. We feel that there is new thought and there is no, it is not like that. It is a well thought out scheme of the failed left to yet impose their dominance over all the systems, all the countries. For that they invade the systems and they corrupt the dialogue. the discourse. And they sort of try to brainwash. They keep young generation into some lull. All this should be understood, this mechanism, this methodology, and then only we can counter it effectively. So we have to prepare intellectual kshatriyas for that. Actually, West has lost to them. They had once declared that we will make the Americas stink, and they have done that. In 60s, they planned about Bharat. Shri Guruji in the Indore Baitak had warned about it. We are now having the glimpse of what they do. It is there inside our country. So we have to guard ourselves, study it, and have some countermeasures. One of these is to educate our Hindu generation not only about what we are, also about what they are, where they came from, how they thought, what is their plan. When they get the history, authentic literature is there in the world. Some Bharatiya authors also have written about it. Documented, well supported, with references. This literature is there. And the new generation wants those things. So, with proofs, we can educate them. Once they get educated, then it will be easy for them to battle them. And we have to better understanding of the Bharat. To create that, we have to go outside, outreach. Already that outreach began in the period of Vivekananda. But world pays attention to only those who are strong. Now, because we are strong, world wants to learn about Hindutva, Bharat, RSS, etc., etc. There are so many Santa Mahatmas representing our Bharatiyatva, Hindutva, outside Bharat, in various countries. They are doing excellent job. A networking is necessary. And a higher purpose is necessary. Up till now, it was only for the spread of their own sampradaya. But now, they are representatives of Bharat. That they should understand. Many have started doing this with this understanding. People to people interaction, communication, various functions, intermingling, exchange programs, they need to increase. Government will do its role in its own way. But those who can, in the society, private institutions, they also with this intention should contribute to this effort. World wants to know about Bharat. World wants to learn from Bharat. Our activism is necessary. It will happen. If we do this, it will happen quickly. Otherwise, it will take its own course. But it is bound to happen. Indo-China policy, the policy regarding foreign affairs is never stationary. But direction is there, it is definite. What is our direction? Being Bharat, we want to create friendship with everybody in the world. Now, at the government level with China, we have got some difference of opinions and there is conflict. And we are not sure, or some of us are very sure about the intentions of China. It wants to dominate. It wants to gobble up. In 1950s, they had a vision of Greater China, which includes the neighboring territories. They have gobbled up Tibet. Now in our border also, they are creating disputes. Then rising Bharat is not in their selfish interest. So naturally, they will try to curb rise of Bharat. Controlled rise of Bharat they will prefer. All these things are there, complications are there. So we have to be strong. We have to always keep a deterrent with us. But we don't want conflict with anybody. We don't want any injustice in the world. And we want to have that strength which will keep China at bay, politically also and intention-wise also. We can restrain China. But we will not exert bossism or keep China under our... like that. No, we want to be friends on equal terms. That is our natural tendency. This intention comes out of that tendency. So we have to balance all this. So we have to have it strong. At the same time, we have to be honestly polite with China. We are, by our nature. Let us see how it develops. We don't want conflict, that is true. But we must protect our sovereignty. This is a circus. Every government has to perform. And up to now, the foreign policy has been fairly successful in this, that we can say. Let us hope it continues to be successful and keeps peace between China and Bharat without Bharat sacrificing its borders.
Next question is on media and narrative. Dr. U.B. Pavanaja, Wikipedia becoming more anti-India, plan of RSS to counter it. Ajit Hanumakkanawar, do you read newspaper, follow social media? Your views on current media scenario. How media can play a role in making the Bharat as Vishwaguru?
I have to read newspapers because I have to keep in contact with present scenario. But there are many media, there are also persons who meet me and tell me, but I read newspapers, I don't go on social media. Much time has to be devoted for that, one thing. And everything on social media is not worth going into it. There are many platforms nowadays. So once upon a time, Wikipedia was the only platform and therefore supreme importance was there. And whatever Wikipedia said goes. That was the situation. But now that is not the situation. What is that chat?
Goki.
Chat, Gorkipedia and ChatGPT. So you can go on those platforms, learn the truth, express your opinion. They are not one-sided. They are not controlled like Wikipedia from a single center. So you can have that. RSS need not do everything. As I told you, RSS thinks only about man-making. RSS does nothing else, and Swayamsevaks do everything else. So there are Swayamsevaks working to that end. They are doing it. We came late in this field, so we are a little behind. But we will cope up. Media has always been a platform which is expected to educate the people. But the commerciality has crept in. So there are efforts to thrill the people. Whatever is sold is dharma, like that. No, that is not the thing. You have to educate the people. And I think after a period of much decline, why I say this, I met media people in Delhi. Say, I was in Sarkar 15 years back. And the last question asked to me by the media heads of Delhi was, Bhagwatji, we noticed that your credibility, Sangh's credibility has increased and our credibility has gone to zero. What is your advice to restore our credibility? At least there, that was the condition. I think things have improved. Media has become more responsible. It should continue to do that. Because other sources are not there now. Only media is there, through which people get the information and views. So, media is part of the society. If society thrives, media will thrive. So, media should educate people properly. And now there are many programs which seek to do that. The style has to be improved. It keeps on improving. By experience, they will learn. I am hopeful about media.
There are two miscellaneous questions. Prashant Chandra, reforms are needed in the area of judicial accountability. Are there any plans? Rajesh Mehta, businessman, asked this question. How to come out from rat race and live a meaningful life? Ashwin D. Gowda, IRS officer, asking this question. How can we ensure that our work as an officer aligns with RSS vision and character building?
So, reforms are needed in judiciary has been proclaimed by even Chief Justices of our country, Supreme Court Chief Justices. But there is no a meaningful initiative to bring them about. I don't know whether there is some assistance from outside. So RSS has not thought about it. What reforms should be there? There are many suggestions given by various organizations, including the Hindutva Parishad, wherein Swayamsevaks are working. But to implement them, initiative has to be taken. And judiciary being one of the columns of our democracy, which is free, which is not dependent on government, and it has to be free. The initiative must come from the judiciary itself. Otherwise, right from judicial system to jurisprudence, many voices have come, and many of them were Chief Justices of High Courts and Supreme Court. That much improvement, radical improvement is also needed. So it is needed. RSS can only say that this has been said and these are the directions indicated and there was Hindu jurisprudence, there was our own jurisprudence, and at present it seems to be superior to available systems. All this education we can do. But actually to happen, the initiative must come from the proper people. How to come out from the rat race and live a meaningful, come out of the rat race and live a meaningful life. That is the only way. How there is, no, you just stop running. Stop running, come back. There is no law that you should run in that race. You yourself have included yourself in that race. You come out. Think a little how to spend life after that. What meaningful activities you plan. Who will help you in that? All this fielding you should take stock of and then come out. The day you come out, the monk who sold his Ferrari, have you read that book? Read it and do it in the same way. Just leave it. I want to leave it. How should I go about it? No, don't think about that. If your resolution is pakka, solid, just step outside, turn around and come back. That will happen. Once you come out of that race and you apply yourself to other things, other human interests, try to make life meaningful by serving, by giving back, you will know how to do it. If you know what to do, you will know how to do it. So again, Madinodi is the only way. In any walk of life, excellence, honesty, dutifulness brings about alignment of what you do to the RSS work. National outlook. Yesterday I said, if you are doing anything good, you are unofficial member of RSS. So as an officer, you have to be within the rules, you have to stick to the rules, you have to establish the rules, you have to be dutiful, you have to be honest, and you have to do your work excellently for the good of the country. Then you are in alignment with RSS. Actually, you will get this experience. If you do like that, someone will come and ask you, are you from RSS? Definitely.
So we have come to last question on Sajjan Shakti, co-passengers in the nation building. The question is asked by Sundar Madakashira, Kedarnath Settar, Dr. Prema, Mamata Rajesh, Harish Shanbag, Mamata, Ashwin Gowda, Prasanna Kumar, and few more persons. As a Sajjan Shakti, how can we integrate RSS value into our day-to-day lives? We would like to associate in nation building activities. How can I join Sun and contribute to best of my potential in spite of our busy personal and professional lives?
So what are RSS values? Deshabhakti, Pramanikta, honesty, Anushasana, discipline, Utkrishtata, and teamwork, Samuhik. These values you inculcate in your work. Secondly, if you want to learn these values, you can join our Shaka. For some reason you don't have time, then what time can you spare? And what is the field of your ruchi, your interest? We can give you that type of work. There are so many things now Swayansevaks are doing. You can join any of them. So it is your choice. RSS proper is Shakha, man-making work. But then you have to give time for it. Initially 1 hour Shakha, and after that, at least to run a Shakha, 1 hour more. So minimum to become RSS Karyakarta is 2 hours daily. If that is impossible, you can come weekly, you can come monthly, you can come for the programs, and you can help Swayansevaks in many other things. You can become the member of the organizations wherein Swayansevaks are working. Or if you have any work going on, you can be in line with other Swayansevaks who are doing that type of work. You can have cooperation and coordination with various institutions wherein Swayansevaks are working. If you have a plan, you can be assisted by Swayansevaks. If you have time and you want a plan, we have a plan. That formula was told to the youth activists. If you have a team, we have a theme. If you have a theme, we have a team. So fortunately, after 100 years, RSS is in a position to give you an opportunity of your choice, according to your taste, according to time you are ready to spend. So please keep contact with the local Karyakartas of RSS. In Sangha, the manner is reverse. In other places, you have to attach with the top person. Then things will happen. In RSS, if you attach yourself with me, nothing will happen. If you go to our Gatnayak in Shaka, immediately everything happens. Because as we go so-called up, and RSS, there is no up and down, we are all so-and-so's. But in the eyes of the society, I am at the top. So as you go up, your field work goes away from you. And you come more in the Margadarshak position. So as Sarsanga Chalak, I am merely a friend, guide and philosopher. A little step down, he is the CEO, General Secretary. He will work. But you want to get involved, you have to get to the local Karyakartas. They are doing the field work. So keep them in contact. Wherever information is to be given, they will carry the information of such and such person. He wants to do something. We have such a field. Or he wants to work in that institution. So higher ups are to be approached. They will do it. The things will happen quickly. You said this is the last question. Two things you have to understand about Sangha. First, Sangha does nothing. Swayamsevak leaves nothing else. Leaves nothing under. They do everything. They do it separately, independently, and eventually they become self-sufficient. So, you are addressing every question to Sangha. What is plan of Sangha about this? Plan of Sangha has planned only for organizing and man-making of the society. Everything that is happening through which you know Sangha. You don't know Sangha through Shaka. You don't know Sangha through Mohan Bhagwat first. You know Sangha through Narendra Modi first. Naturally. There is no fault of yours. Or you go to service activities. Oh, Sangha is a service. Sangha is man-making organizations. Service institutes, Seva Bharati, etc. It is the doing of Swayamsevaks. If you want to understand proper Sangha, you have to understand Shaka. But you want to contribute to Sangha Shaka or Sangha work. Anywhere in these works, if you give your contribution, it reaches Sangha. Because Sangha creates Karyakartas. And they create the Karya. Sangha work is creating Karyakartas. Sangha Karyakarta does the Sangha Karya, and that is Sangha Karya. अपने पवित्र हिंदू धर्म, हिंदू संस्कृति तथा हिंदू समाज का संरक्षण कर हिंदू राष्ट्र की सर्वांगीण उन्नति इस संघ कार्य. And therefore, when Swayamsevak says, I am Swayamsevak for this purpose, in his Pratijna. In our Pratijna, there is no mention of Shaka. And in our Prarthana, which is famously known as Sangha Prarthana, there is no name of Sangha. Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha is absent from it. Because it is Bharat Mata's Prarthana. Sangha works for Bharat. Sangha doesn't work for itself. Tera Vaibhav Amar Rehma. Hamadini Char Rehna Rehe. So you have to understand this. Everything that has been done by Swayamsevaks. There may be glitches and faults in that also. And discredit will come to Sangha because they are Sangha Swayamsevaks. It is very natural. But understand that Sangha applies itself exclusively to man-making. That much share of this credit we owe. The credit all goes to the Swayamsevaks who are doing it, and Sangha does not want that credit. This you have to understand. Secondly, the Sangha Karya is actually not for Sangha. It is for us all. Actually, it is Sangha is against giving contract. We have had a bad habit of giving contracts. First, we used to call, because once Bhagwan said that Dharma Samsthapanat Arya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So we caught hold of that clause of the agreement, and we always say, Bhagwan, come now, you had promised. You know, what is the halat of my society? What is the condition of my country? What are you doing? You promised to come. Why are not you coming? Rabbi, it is your own country. What are you doing about it? But Dayalu Bhagwan never asks it. And then Bhagwan stops responding. Then we go to the government. What is government doing about this? What is government doing about this? We are a Samaj, and Samaj creates all these things. So Sangha says, don't give contract to Sangha even. No avatar, no vichar, no Mahapurush, no party, no Sangathan can bring about emancipation of this country. It is the society which has to transform, which has to take lead. Then all these things will be assisting properly. Otherwise, all these will be ineffective if society is sleeping. And therefore, what Sangha is doing? Sangha is doing its bit everywhere. That I can assure you of. But that doesn't suffice. Okay, Sangha is doing its bit, government will do its bit. What I am doing? That is the sort of introspective thinking Sangha wants to bring about in our Hindu society. So in that light, try to understand Sangha, and better than hearing some speech or asking questions, go directly and see Sangha from inside. Once you feel Sangha, you will understand it. Till that, always there will be some doubts, some lacuna in your understanding about Sangha. How sweet sugar is, it can be described in so many words, scientifically, in the manner of literature. There can be a poem also about that. But you just have half a spoon of sugar, a cube of sugar in your mouth, and you will know how sweet sugar is. That is how you want to do it. You must do it. Come and see Sangha from inside. Join and work with our Swayamsevaks in various fields. If you have time, come and join the Shaka. Then you will understand Sangha perfectly. And it is so vast a concept that understanding it goes on. I am Sar Sangha Chalak. I am also in the process of understanding Sangha. Shri Guruji, our Dvitiya Sar Sangha Chalak, once said, he was asked by he told in the Bauddhik Varga that now I am Sar Sangha Chalak for so many years. I have started understanding Sangha a little. If Guruji says that, then it is a continuous process. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. This is my experience which I am sharing with you. You can experience and create your own impression. But anyway, whatever is your perception, impression, it should be based on facts and not propaganda, perception, narration, etc. So I have told you what the truth is. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, it is your prerogative. Decide about it. You have right to decide anything. But whatever you decide on the basis of these facts. You can come inside Sangha and witness the Sangha working and confirm whether what I have told you is factual or imagination. That also you can do. Be assured of the facts and then decide. This is the only request I have to make. I am sorry I could not answer all the questions for the restraint of better compilation was not there, and I think 283 questions.
480 questions.
470 questions. 480 questions.
480.
So, it is already late for your lunch. I conclude with this remark. Thank you for hearing me patiently. Take my answers patiently. We'll meet again sometime.
Now, before Rashtragan, just one instruction. Now we will be going down one step for taking lunch. From there, after taking lunch, you can leave the place. Now there will be Rashtragan.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
So there is one spectacles misplaced. It is with me. If it is belongs to you, please collect it.